in the 60s and 70s in America, some people don't know, but there was a very, very large, almost a disaster in the development of drug and alcohol abuse in young people in America. Before then, it really, young people drank and had some difficulty, but the explosion of drugs and alcohol in America devastated cities, and it devastated families for quite a while. And we really didn't know what to do about it. All of the systems that we had for dealing with drugs and alcohol before that were designed for adults. And so we tried to use adult-style programs with young people. Well, it just didn't work. It didn't work at all. So I was training staffs of treatment programs in NLP. And it was obvious to me that the programs weren't very good. And so I went to one of the programs that was really one of the worst ones. And I said, give me complete control of this program. I believe that with my NLP skills, with my own experience, I'm a psychologist, I'm a doctor, I'm a war veteran, and I had some problems with chemicals myself when I was young. I believe, and NLP of course, I believe with all of those skills that I can build a great program for young people. And I was told at the time by the professionals in the field that, okay, fine, we understand, except what you don't understand is that when young people are seriously involved in drugs, even if you can help them become sober and stay away from drugs, they have basically ruined their lives. They have destroyed their personalities, they have destroyed their future, and they're not going to get that back. And I thought that was ridiculous, because what do I know about human beings, especially young people, is that human beings, and especially young people, are the best learners on the planet. So if they learned to do drugs, they can certainly learn to do life in all of its forms. So I built a program that was different than any other program that had been built for young people. And I built it very specifically for young people, using all of the psychological knowledge that I had in adolescent development. How does a child develop through those special years? Because those are the years in which they took drugs and in which they damaged that process of development. And so can we do it again? Is it possible to redevelop a personality? Well, I thought it was. It wouldn't be easy, but, and we have to undo a lot of damage done by drugs and the drug world and the drug philosophy and the drug ideas and all of that. So basically, I created a program that cleans out the drug criminal and then rebuilds the young person, very similarly to what they could have and should have been built from the time they were about 4 or 5 years old until 16, 17. And there are certain phases that happen in that period of time in the life of a child. Can we do those again in an accelerated form and maybe even do better than they had done before? So we set out not to bring a young person back to how they were before drugs, but to actually bring a young person back into life better than they ever were before. More skilled, more knowledgeable, better trained. So we set out building a program that basically was designed to build a successful young person. Okay. So we didn't talk a whole lot about drugs, because our idea was, if we're able to build a very highly successful young person and bring them into the world and let them become successful, happy, and so forth, then drugs for them were irrelevant. They're certainly not going to go back to drugs because they have such a good life now. Why would I want to jeopardize that? And it worked. And it worked very well. And so we became known that the United States government did an evaluation of the problem in the country. And they were looking in the 80s, middle 80s, and they were looking for examples of great treatment programs or great prevention programs or community-based programs or prevention programs to try and solve this huge problem that was happening in America with young people. Well, they found us, and they, after taping us and talking with us and typing lots of other programs, the United States government gave us the honor of being identified as the best treatment program for young people with drug and alcohol problems in the history of treatment in the country. So we were very pleased, obviously. And then a lot of people, then there was a huge television program put on in the whole country in which we were identified as one of the 5 areas: prevention, parenting, community problems, school problems, and treatment. And we were identified as by far the best treatment program in the country. And so a lot of people started coming to us and studying what we were doing so that they could replicate the process in the country. I now have 5 programs in the Russian-speaking world, and getting ready to open the 6th one here pretty quick, in which we have now, over the last 20 years, 18 years, proven that this program is not basically for Americans, but for young people of all kinds. And we have we've been lucky enough to create incredible success rates in our programs in Russia, Ukraine, and other Russian-speaking countries. So we're very happy with the results, and obviously we're trying to create more and more programs to make sure that more and more young people have the opportunity to become incredibly happy, incredibly successful, and incredibly skilled in living their lives. And that's what we do, and I'm really happy about that.